Well, welcome everyone. I just wanted to take a few minutes out to try to assist you with Activity 2 1. I know that there is a template that is available for you, but I've made a more complete one and I posted in the activity. I also sent out an email with the Microsoft Excel file, but feel free to use Word, which is actually a better way to do it, so you can put it all in one. And I will put it into a Word document, and I will send that out as well. I'll also put it inside the activity. So basically, what you're doing is you're building a computer system from scratch, and you're putting all the components in there. Now, I've been building computer systems for more years than I want to admit, so I'm very familiar with that. You might not be as familiar with all the little things that really should go into it. So what I've done is I've broken it down for you step by step. And through my past experience, there seems to be some confusion as to where the link goes and where the rationale goes and things of that nature. So let me look at this sheet over here, but let me first tell you about the rubric doesn't physically say that you cannot use a ready-made system. I don't recommend it because then you're not going to really learn about the individual points that are the things that go into a computer. And this gives you the option to choose your own. So what I've done here is giving you all the components. So you're going to need a case, you're going to need a power supply, you're going to obviously need a system board, and I've broken down the recommended CPUs for the different types: budget, uh, the regular one, a digital, or a gamer. So feel free to include a little higher one if you want, but I wouldn't recommend going lower. So here is the minimum RAM that's recommended for all these. Now I know you could do a budget on 8 gigabytes, and that's fine. But nowadays with Windows 10 and Windows 11, you want to have enough memory that you can run programs without having to constantly close other things and run slow. So digital is 32, and gamer, if it's in the budget, I would go with 64. You need to have a video card, otherwise you're not going to see anything. Now here is some options for you. With an internal hard drive, for a budget and a digital, you can just use a regular standard Western Digital hard drive or Seagate hard drive. Just make sure that if you use Western Digital, if you're going to use for the budget, you can use a green or blue. That's okay. But for the others, I would recommend using the black. But for the gamer, I definitely recommend using an SSD hard drive in there. So that is definitely a big, big plus. They're not that much more expensive than a regular hard drive. So you should be able to put it into budget. And obviously you need a keyboard and a mouse. And then the hardware isn't going to work without specific hardware that you need. Like for a gamer, you might need a joystick, you might need a trackpad, a touchpad for the digital, or a pen, whatever it is. You obviously need to have an operating system. So a computer without an operating system, kind of like having a car without an engine. So you definitely need to have that. I recommend Windows 10. It's okay to do home for the budget, but for the digital and the gamer, you definitely want to do pro. And then you need to have user software. So what good is a computer if you can't do anything on it? So it boots up to the operating system. So you really want to have application software, especially for the budget, because they're going to be doing mostly Microsoft Word or Excel, whatever it is. If it's not in the budget, you can use Google Docs, which is free. So you just want to make sure that you mention that in your user software over here. So you got Google Docs, you can do an antivirus. I recommend Kaspersky. You could use, if you're doing Windows 10 for your home, the budget one. If you want to use Windows Defender, that's fine. Again, I don't really recommend it, but when you're running into a budget issue, you probably want to skip wherever you can. Just make sure that you do. So what is the software that you're going to need in here to run games and to do digital? A printer, it's not actually a necessity, but a printer is a good idea. And of course, you're going to need a monitor. If you're doing a digital or gamer computer, then you're probably going to want two monitors in there. So then you want to total up the system. Now, up top here, you're going to put the rationale why you chose the system. And then you also want to put the link to it in here. So you don't have to worry about anything other than a link in this particular one. Make sure you're putting the price. And then I'm not going to complain if you go a few dollars over budget in there, because sometimes the price is going up. You may need to adjust things, but that's okay as long as it's not very much higher than that. So don't worry about it if you go $50 or $75 over budget. And here is, again, you need to put in why you did all this. So you're going to talk about the components and the purpose of the system and all that stuff. So it's not really that difficult. I don't think. I think it's more of a fun activity. I recommend just going to either Newegg or Amazon to purchase all of your parts in there. And once you build a system, put them in the template, and then you can submit them with your paragraph, and then we'll see what happens. So hopefully you'll really enjoy this. If you have any questions, hopefully you know where to find me. You'll have a wonderful, wonderful day.